Gonna now take the North Gate, and then we've got another 140 k's or so. Another about 5-6 hours drive, depending on the road condition, to Gharagab. Gharagab, 164 kilometers. That's in the northern section of the park, very close to Union's End, where the border of Botswana, Namibia and South Africa joins. Okay, let's go. The time now is nearly 12 o'clock, midday, and according to GPS we will arrive at Gharagab at 16:17, but that is driving at 50 k's an hour, which we won't be able to do, and maybe we're going to get a sighting or something on the road. So let's say we will arrive there at about 1700 or 1730. So that is another 7-8 hours drive for us to reach our destination for our second night after we've left Twee Rivieren rest camp this morning early 6 o'clock. So we're going to go to Gharagab now for 2 days, 2 nights, and then come back to Nossob, and we will give you a better view of the Nossob rest camp. So let's go. This is another artificial waterhole just north of Nossob. Kupichi Kwap. Kupung Wap. Here's another waterhole. Kwang. And there the water, lots of wildebeest and springbok. As stated before, we are driving alongside the Nossob River, which is the border between Botswana and South Africa, and most of the game in Kalahari concentrate around the artificial waterholes. These boreholes were sank 100 years ago, more than 100 years ago. Those days still for the farmers. It was long before the park was proclaimed. But now it is a paradise. Probably the most beautiful spot in South Africa. Kgalagadi set in the Kalahari desert. And in front of us is another artificial waterhole. It is called bedinkt, which roughly translated would be something like thought through, think of. No, it was thought through, it was bedinkt. It was thought of. Well, let's visit another waterhole. It's called Kousand. There in the distance is a wildebeest who wants to come and drink. So we're going to move on, we don't want to disturb him. Well, about 61 kilometers north of Nossob and 79 kilometers from Union's End. So it's halfway between Union's End approximately and Nossob. You will find a turn off to Pan. There's a campsite and then there's a lodge run by the Botswana government. But we're not going to turn off here now. If you want to go to the lodge, you must go through customs there at Rivieren and get your passport stamped. But we are staying in the South African side, so we are going to Gharagab. It's still 103 kilometers from here. So I think it's a good time to hit the road. Well, just a few hundred meters after the turn off to Pan, we've got the Waterhole. You can spot lots of wildebeest in the distance. This Waterholes is the lifeline for the animals in Kgalagadi. And obviously, if you want to see line, you must also come to these Waterholes and sit and wait, because that's where the most killings are made, when the lions hunt for their prey. Close by a little jackal also roaming around. We are now approaching another picnic area. Apparently somebody told me that this morning there were lions lying around here, and the people were warned not to get out of the car to go to the ablutions. So let's see can spot anything. It's called Leers Dry. Leers must be somebody's name and dry mean turn. So let's have a look if the lions are still here, if we can find any spoor. We've looked around a bit, we spotted some spoor, but it doesn't seem to be a fresh spoor. So according to an eyewitness, they were here this morning, so I don't know if it was just by word of mouth or, but they are not here now. But we can't wait, we must go on and get to our next camp, Gharagab. It's going to be a very difficult drive. In about another, I think we're going to stay on this road for another 52 kilometers, and then we're going to turn off into the dunes. We are about now 30 kilometers before we turn off into the dunes to our next destination at Gharagab. But we just want to have a look here at Waterholes. waterhole if we can maybe spot anything. I remember many years ago when I was here, there was a massive line pride of about 12 or 15 lines. Came to drink water here. There's the grip. But no luck today. Now this road, that turn off here is going into Botswana, and it leads to the exit gate on the Botswana side further north, and there's also campsites there. So if you ever want to come and visit this area, you must book for Botswana, and then we'll take that road. But we are only exploring this time the section in South Africa. Nice herd of springbok blocking the road. The springbok, of course, is the national emblem for the South African rugby team, who hopefully is going to win the 2023 World Cup again for a second time in a row. For a third time, but the second time in a row. Now this is now the turn off to another dune camp called Grootkolk. It's only 1 kilometer from here. It says residents only, but we will get permission to go and have a look at what the accommodation is like. About 13 kilometers before we're going to turn off to Gharagab. There's another waterhole. You can see some springbok here close by. It's called a Gharagab waterhole. We are very close now to Union's End, and the turn off through the dunes to Gharagab, our overnight destination. But before we get there, we will stop here at Union's End picnic site. This is a really amazing picnic site, very close to the border with Botswana and Namibia in South Africa. Very rustic. You can also braai here. They've got a ablution facility. We will explore it again tomorrow. Just a quick drive through. This whole video of us is just a on the go video to give everybody a idea of what adventure to Kalahari is. It's the most beautiful place, I think, on earth. If you love the openness and the sand and the dunes and the blue skies, this is the place for you. Okay, another 1.4 kilometers, then we're gonna turn off to Gharagab, into the dunes, 4x4, just close to Union's End. But it's late now, we won't explore Union's End at this stage, we will do it tomorrow. waterhole. There's oryx there running. Another one. It's Union's End waterhole. And that's about 400 meters before we turn off onto the dune road, or the dune track. Can't call it a road, you will see. There it is. Gharagab camp, 32 kilometers. It's a one-way. So we're going to enter through this road and we're going to exit through another road. The reason for the one way is because when you get over the dunes and one car is coming from one side, the other one from the other side, they will both get stuck. Of course, they had to stop for each other. So, shall we do it? We are going to engage in 4x4 very soon, as soon as we reach the dunes. But this is now 32 k's, 32 kilometers to our destination. It's a beautiful landscape. We are away from the Nossob River now, driving into the dunes. You can see the red sand. Paradise for photographers. This is just perfect light to get that special shot, either of landscape, animals, birds. If you want to visit Gharagab, you're not allowed to drive on this road with a trailer or a caravan, off-road caravan. Also, these overland trucks or motorhomes are also not allowed. So only a ordinary 4x4 vehicle are allowed on this road, and that's the only road to Gharagab. We are now driving south, and to our right, just a few hundred meters to our right, is the border with Namibia. So we are driving all along the border. There in front is the oryx running. Beautiful. We are about 16 kilometers now from our destination, Gharagab. So we were driving along a dune for some kilometers. Now we're descending into a valley. Even here in the dunes, they have set up boreholes for the animals. Now this waterhole over here is called Gharagab. It's 17 kilometers from Gharagab camp. It's a lone oryx standing in the middle of the road. Well, we are about now 5 kilometers from Gharagab, and it's nearly 5 o'clock in the afternoon, 1700 hours. We left at 0600 hours from Twee Rivieren. This is about 330 k's away from Gharagab. So it took us 11 hours for only 330 kilometers. But wow, what a drive. It is just amazing. It's a privilege to be here and to just witness and observe the beauty of the Kalahari. Oh wow, after about 11 hours driving time and only 330 kilometers, we've reached the turn off to Gharagab. Tomorrow we're going to take the one way back to Nossob. We won't go to Nossob, we're going to stay over here for 2 nights, but we're going to explore the area. So it's only 1 kilometer to Gharagab camp now.